Hi viewers, I am your host Muhammad Shahid. In today's video, I want to share with you a very basic topic of journalism and mass communication, which is news writing. So, news is the most important thing for a journalist because as journalists in the field of journalism and mass communication, we produce news, we sell news, we have to deal with this commodity on a daily basis. So basically news is defined in a number of ways. Some say that news is anything new, or some scholars have defined it, like for example, someone has defined it anything or any recent information or information about any recent event is news. There is a definition that anything that comes from north, east, west, and south. News has these four alphabets NEWS. So someone has also defined it as something or some information that is coming from all these four directions: north, east, west, south. NEWS. So there are a large number of definitions in various books, and you can search them online. But in today's topic, I want to share with you in a very short form. In a few minutes, I want to share with you how you can write a news story. The first thing that you should keep in mind is the first paragraph. If you write the first paragraph of the news report well, then you have performed your job in an appropriate manner. For example, the very first paragraph that we write in a news report, it is called intro or lead. Intro is just like an introduction of a news story. So this introduction must be, or this intro or lead must be a summary of your entire report. And we use this summary in the first paragraph because we want to facilitate our readers, number one. And secondly, we also use all the information or the summary in this first paragraph of the news report because we want to include all the important information in the news report. The first thing is that if a reader likes or takes interest in your news report by reading the first paragraph, then they have the option to read the entire story. For example, if they don't have any time, so they can just read the intro, grab the summary of the story of the report, and if they don't like it, if this story doesn't interest them, the readers can move on to the next story. So in this way, through intro, we are facilitating our readers. We are saving their time from getting wasted. And secondly, in news, in the working of the newspapers, when we produce newspaper pages, so usually what we do, we delete the unimportant or sometimes that information which is at the bottom of the news report. So during the page designing in newspapers and magazines offices, usually the information at the bottom of the news report is sometimes deleted. That's why we try to give all the important information in the beginning or in the middle paragraphs. And the information that has lesser value or that is less important in terms of any incident, we place those information at the end of the report, so that in case even if that story is deleted from the end, we should be able to have all the important information in the beginning paragraphs or the middle or the first paragraphs. So that's why intro facilitates not only the readers, but this style of writing, we also call this style of writing is the inverted pyramid style of writing. If you see the novels, that is totally opposite. In literature, and when you read a novel, so the novel begins with the introduction of the characters, then from the background, and when the novel reaches the climax, then it ends. But it is totally opposite to the news writing. In news writing, the climax or the most important part is given in the first paragraph, which is called intro. And when we have some less important information or background information, so that information is placed at the end of the news report. So it is called the descending order of importance. The more an information is important, we place it in the upper part of the news story. And if it is less important, we give it a place in the later part of the bottom of the news story. So this is called inverted pyramid style of writing, right? For example, there is a seminar going on in a university. So there are participants of the seminar, vice chancellor addresses it, other speakers speak during the seminar. What is the title of the seminar? So usually for the intro, we find 5 W's and 1 H. 5 W's and 1 H. For example, 1 H W means what? What is taking place about any incident, where it is taking place, when it is taking place, why, right? So all these, there are 5 W's and 1 H, how. So we try to include all these important information about 5 W's, 1 H, about any incident. All these important questions about any incident, we place these information in the intro or the first paragraph. But one should also keep in mind that it's not necessary that you all, if you see that with the inclusion of all 5 W's and 1 H, all these information about any incident, the intro is getting bigger. I mean, it is more than 30 words or 40 words. It reaches 40 words even sometimes. Then you can skip any W, any information, and include it in the second paragraph of the news story. So we usually say that 5 W's and 1 H is part of intro. But yes, if your intro is getting bigger, I mean it is more than 30 words, so then you can cut that information from the intro, some information from the intro, and place it in the second paragraph, because your intro should also be concise and brief. So that's why we use a rule which is called KISS rule. Keep it short and simple. KISS. Keep it short and simple means, KISS rule means that your intro should be concise, brief, and comprehensive. It should be brief, but it should also be comprehensive. It should include all the details about any incident, right? For example, I give you an example. There is a seminar going on at a university on a topic. There are a number of scholars or speakers who address that seminar, and they discuss a number of issues about education or anything. So you usually start the intro. For example, first you write the dateline. If it is the story of Peshawar, you write Peshawar, Peshawar, in the beginning, and you insert a colon with the dateline. If it is the story of Mardan, you write Mardan, Mardan, in the beginning. The place where the story is filed, that is the dateline, right? In some newspapers, they have a style that in the dateline they also include the date of the reporting of that story, right? And in some newspapers they don't use date, they just write the place of the story where it is filed. So if there is a seminar, you just say that a seminar on women's rights was held at the University of Peshawar on Friday. Now I am just giving an example. The first W is what? What it was? A seminar. When? On Friday. Where? At the University of Peshawar. So I'm just giving an example that all the 5 W's and 1 H about any incident, that is included in the first paragraph of a news report, and it is called intro. So it's your introduction of the story. After that, you can include who addressed the seminar, vice chancellor or professors or anybody, any guest who is coming there. So you can just include all those information in the story in the same order. I mean, inverted pyramid style. The more information is important, it is given the upper place in the story. The more it's if it's less important information, it comes down at the bottom of the story. And at the end, you can say, you can just if you are reporting some issue, writing a news report on an issue, at the end you can give the background of any issue about which you are writing. Background comes at the end. But usually I'm just trying to make a point that intro is very important, and simply you just need to give a summary, the crux of the entire story in your first paragraph, which is called the intro, and then you add other information in separate paragraphs about that event. So it is a simple news report. So I hope it was clear. We will meet in the next videos. It was just to tell you in this brief video that what is intro, what is a news report, how you should write it, and how you apply the KISS rule. Your intro is concise and brief and comprehensive as well. And in the next videos I will tell you more about some other topics. So see you all in the next videos. Goodbye.